Hello and welcome to Improve Your Voice. My name is Darren McStay and today we're going to look at an easy warm-up that you can use as a speaker before you need to get up and do your talking. Okay, here we go. The first thing we're going to do is just actually to breathe and actually settle ourselves and start creating this space in our torso to accept the air, because this is the first part of our warm-up and this is the thing that's going to set us up more than anything. So what we're going to do for this is practice breathing low into our belly. So we need to just let go of our belly, relax the shoulders, put our arms down. Wherever you are, you can do this. And the first thing is just to yawn. By faking yawning, we're opening up some channels that allow air to come in and drop down right into the pit of our belly. I don't want to see shoulders moving. I just want our bellies to drop down. Now, ultimately, I'd like you to breathe into the base of your back, but I don't want you to force air in. I just want you to allow air to just drop in. So creating the space by yawning allows it to just fall in. It's like just drinking the air in. But because this is a warm-up, I want us to use it as an exercise to get us ready to speak. So if you can bring your arms up to the side, like this, so the elbows are out the way, because the intercostal muscles, which is the muscles in between our ribs, also need some space to expand in order to create the space. It's not just about our diaphragm moving down, it's also about our ribs moving out. So take our arms up and out the way, and then, even though they're up, relax your shoulders, relax your belly, and we're going to breathe in again. And try and concentrate on these muscles. And imagine that as you breathe in, these muscles at the side are just expanding. So I've done this before, like the balloon exercise, which is here in case you want to use it, where you imagine the torso, your torso expanding in every direction like a balloon. But for this one, we can just imagine that it's the ribs that are getting bigger at the side and at the back. So what we do is on every in-breath, we breathe in and imagine them expanding, and then again on every out-breath, they continue to expand. So it keeps growing, growing, growing. In, and they expand. Out, and they expand. So I want you to do 10 of these breaths as a first part of our warm-up. But often one of the things that restricts us when we're speaking is tension in the neck and shoulder area, and of course in the jaw. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a little bit of massaging around this point where my shoulders meet my neck. This is the soft part, just around the back here. I mean, I've got a bit of tension. I could probably go for a massage myself. But if you can do it yourself, it's going to save you some money, and it doesn't take too long. This is just part of our warm-up. It's just the beginning still. And as you do this, continue to allow your breath to drop in deeply and keep the idea of your ribs expanding every time you breathe in, and again every time you breathe out. And you just massage around the back of your neck here, and then maybe up the sides of the neck. Find anywhere that may be a bit tense and just work it a little bit with your fingers. And then you can work your way up to the back of the neck, maybe onto your head, dragging your fingers down, whatever works for you. Everyone's going to feel this in different ways, in different places. But just giving yourself a little massage is a great part of a warm-up. So we're breathing, we're relaxing some of the muscles by massaging out the stress. And now we're just going to bring our head over to the left, taking our hand just for guidance. We're not pulling our head, we're just allowing it to drop down as we breathe out. You could raise your right arm up on the other side and point your middle finger out. That will help increase this. But relax your arm down to the side. Remember, this is just guiding, it's not pulling. Maybe the weight of the arm is enough. Continue breathing. Take 4 or 5 breaths here, and then we'll change over to the other side. Continually remember these ribs are expanding as you breathe out. And imagine that the idea of this movement is to lengthen, is to create space. Ultimately, when we're warming up, we're trying to open up the spaces for our voice to function at its optimum. Tension and tightness is always restricting for our voice and unhealthy. So by creating space and relaxation, we're creating the right conditions for us to speak at our best. But you do the same again with our head forward like this. Remembering to breathe and let our rib muscles expand outwards in all directions. Just tuck our chin in as we go down. Breathe, relaxing your hands, no pulling. So we've done the neck a little bit, we have a little massage, we've done some breathing, we've done some lengthening, and now we're going to start adding a bit of sound in. So just a gentle hum, no pushing, just allowing as the air comes out of us to make a sound with our vocal folds, like this. I want this to be very low at first. I don't want you to push like this, and I don't want you to be under-energized, like just enough to make the correct sound nice and pleasant and easy without pushing. But of course we're warming up, so like an engine, we can start revving the engine a bit more and creating a bit more sound and adding a bit more energy. What's happening is when we're making these hum sounds, we start low and the vocal folds actually move at a certain rate. So when we do low, they're going quite slowly. And when we make higher notes, they actually go much quicker and they vibrate, making this sound come out and it sounds higher. But we're also creating more space in order to let that sound resonate in us. So a lot of stuff's going on subconsciously that we're not so aware of, but we do know that we don't want to push still. It's just a warm up. So nice and low, we go as high as we can comfortably and without making too much more sound, but still making the note go higher. So we'll go from low to high to low again. Okay, let's do it a few more times. Okay, you can do this in your own time, but this is an idea that you can use for your warm-up. And lastly, once we've started getting the vocal folds and some of these areas inside our mouth warmed up, we want to do some articulation exercises because as a speaker, it's very important that your words are clear and precise. So, having a bone prop, the Morrison bone prop, which I have here, I've done a video on this the other week. If you haven't seen it, it's just here. This is basically a tool that you can carry around with you, and it's actually designed to be exactly the right size for you to keep your mouth only barely open and work the articulators on the inside. So when you do take it out and speak, everything is clearer and crisper. It's a really useful tool. Some people put their finger in their mouth, but of course that's not always very hygienic, and different size fingers will create different effects and maybe not work as they should. The idea is that this is open just a little bit at the front, so the work is all happening inside, and there has to be more space in the back of your mouth in order to create the proper sounds once you take it out. Now, this is clearly an old one, and I believe that Anne Morrison is sending me a new one. So thank you, Annie. Guys, I'll share that with you when it comes. But what we're going to do, we're going to take this in here, and if you have a speech, it's a good idea to maybe practice your speech with this in, or of course, if you don't have this, with your little finger in your mouth, in between your teeth, without biting, just enough so it keeps your teeth close together, and the work is being done inside your mouth. So whatever your speech is, you just practice it with this in your mouth. But for now, let's just do a little tongue twister like Peter Piper. Peter Piper, 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 Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So that's quite articulate. I'm feeling quite warm, and I actually did have a warm-up before I did this video, so I was already one step ahead of you, but this is a great one just to kind of help get you started. You can do this anywhere, anytime. So remember, it goes like this: breathing, relaxing, lengthening, humming, and then articulation. I hope this has been useful. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas about what you'd like to see in this channel in the future, or specifics about your own voice and you've got questions for me, just leave a comment in the boxes below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Of course, you can always come and join my new Facebook group called Improve Your Voice. Just sign up, and that's a good place that we can all chat together and maybe help each other out with our own ideas. And then again, of course, is my 8-week course, which is so thorough, it goes through everything, and there's so many exercises that will help you improve your voice to the best it can be. I'm Darren McStay, this is Improve Your Voice, and until the next time, look after your voice.